What's up, guys? I'm on day 4 of NoFap, and I said that I wasn't gonna count days anymore, but I think that's the only way I'm going to reach a larger amount, a larger audience, and spread my message and tell my story is if I actually do label the days on the videos. What is it to say what's happened since my last video is that you may have known this, seen on my channel, I'm making a conscious effort to improve my social skills, and I was even thinking of pivoting the old purpose to sort of log my journey. However, I don't really want to give unsolicited advice, which I kind of feel as though I'm doing if I don't really have the evidence to back up what I'm doing, and I can't really tell other people to do something that I'm still working on, you know. So the NoFap videos are kind of there as a filler, and then I can talk about other things and keep them separate. And what's happened is that currently ever since talking to my therapist about being more in the moment, I found that it's just sort of came naturally, you know. I've been speaking to such a great therapist that don't know, I'm going to drink this. It's not lemonade, it's tap water. Speaking to such a great therapist that I've just sort of mentioned my trouble being in the moment, staying in the moment, which is related to having low self-esteem, a very negative image of myself, and anxiety, you know. And I've just been so in the moment that I've been going for walks, and I made a video called a mindful presence, which I recommend that you watch, because mindful presence is kind of just me taking photos, I'm taking videos, nature, and editing them all together. I'm working on, I don't know whether it's I'm going to upload it later or I'm going to upload it tomorrow. Nostalgia, and it's kind of just around like the theme of nostalgia, the theme of sort of, you know, finding meaning. And I've recorded for it. I'll tell you a little bit about what I've done, and I may even include a clip. Actually, I deleted all the clips from my phone once I compiled them together. Never mind, I can explain it to you. But there's one bit in it, it's so good, you're going to like it so much. I put the sound of the kettle boiling, because it's not just sort of the imagery and the aesthetic and how all of the aesthetics come together, it's also the sound, you know, and the imagery that it creates in your mind. Apart from that, and cultivating a sense of empathy, I mean, I don't want to turn myself into more feminine of a person, especially because I'm not sort of that developed in the area of muscularity. I mean, I actually had a high degree of empathy initially. I mean, I was always at the top of my class in English, and I'd sort of just put myself in the shoes of others, you know. I was always good at writing essays, and I think I lost that, you know, because they say that Hamza said that red pill people, you know, who've been on red pill websites on Reddit and whatnot, improving the dating game. They're traumatized, you know, they want women to suffer, and I mean, if you understand them, it's a whole different kettle of fish, but there are actual misogynists there. And I think, even though it shouldn't be my aspiration to sort of make myself more feminine, I think I do need empathy to want to take the responsibility, because I want to take more responsibility with my life, and I want to take the responsibility to lead, but I can only really lead with a passion and not sort of make people skeptical of me, like what's happening with Elon Musk. You know, just I can only really do that, I think, if I cultivate a sense of empathy. And I can really just do that. I mean, I've said it time and time again, by being mindful. Pretty much making the same video at this point. Because what is there really to say, you know? Yeah, and I think I'm becoming more connected to my past. You know, because been speaking a lot, as I'm improving my social skills, I seem to be sort of reminiscing more and showing more of with being grounded, more of a gratitude for my past, as opposed to just getting embarrassed, like, oh God, I remember the time where this happened or that happened. I can just recall with a smile, a wide grin on my face what happened, and compliment the people even though they're not there who were in that situation. So I feel as though something's happening now. I'm being more mindful of what I say and what I do, the way that I think, instead of thinking small, because I've been reading The Magic of Thinking Big, like thinking in much wider context about how it applies to other people, and things that I say which are usually awkward, you know, I can just tell them about, sort of, instead of just the facts of it, just the wider picture, the wider scope, and how it applies to them. Like, oh, we can do this, we can go fishing. Instead of I'm going to go fishing, I'm going to use this hook, I'm going to take this bait, you know. And I have improved in that area over the course of the last 3 days. And I'm pretty much grateful for that very awkward interaction, even though I shouldn't really be so focused on it, because it's just an awkward conversation I had online, but I'm kind of grateful for that now. Yeah, with social media, because I spend a lot of time, because it's been advised to me that I can improve my social skills by going on a dopamine detox. And I mean, I've been thinking of excuses for myself, and I shouldn't really think of myself as being an exception, because no one is really special. You know, we're all on this planet going about our individual tasks. So I shouldn't really think of myself as being the only one and take on everyone else's responsibility and then, you know, just be selfish. I mean, I can actually do a dopamine detox, because I can take a step back from what I'm doing, be more mindful and aware of the apps that I'm using. I use Discord, and because I want to go into copywriting, I also want to use Reddit. So I've got a filter, I've got a bulldog blocker. I'm using that on my phone to stop myself from looking at inappropriate content. Taking that off, and then of course I'm going to be exposed to inappropriate content, and Reddit in the past was like my go-to app for this inappropriate content, you know. But taking like that off, being more mindful of what I'm doing, I want to kind of look at Amazon reviews and Reddit posts and use that to sort of get to know what other people want with a product, a service, you know. And I'm working on developing my skills in other areas. I might go back to learning coding at some point, because I started a course thinking, I'm going to be a programmer, because to be honest, I really didn't know. Copywriting seems to me to be the clearest idea of what I could do, and the clearest use of my skills. But I kind of started that, then I left it. I might go back to it just to sort of build up my CV. But really, it doesn't matter, because it's like the networking skills that I'm going to need. And I don't really need other people to like me. I should let go of sort of this fake extroverted persona that I put on sometimes, which kind of just ridicules people and puts them down for social prestige, and it only ever works in the short term. It's just based on neediness. It's like pseudo narcissism. And I'm not a narcissist. Yes, I do have Asperger's, but that's just totally different, you know. And I should basically start respecting myself more, and it may come to me with doing NoFap, because I've been advised to do NoFap, to make a conscious effort to reach 90 days. Which is something I've never done before, and you may think, like you're saying this, but you do have a problem. You know, because I haven't been able to get past a week for a long ass time. And when I go into the cycle of fapping every other day, the only thing that's really taken me out of that is speaking to a therapist. Is telling someone else about my issues. And my issue mainly, I think, is that I'm just not present, because I read Marcus Aurelius' Meditations twice, and both times I read them, I went on I was on a 28-day streak when I finished, and then I went did a few more days before I read. In fact, that might have been on my 45-day streak, and also on a 7-day streak. You know, I got past 7 days when I read that book, so that means that there is some wisdom in there about being still, about being present, just focused on my own craft, I suppose, that really resonates with my soul and insulates against parasites such as PMO addiction, you know. And I think I should continue to be still, because I haven't really had any urges when I'm still. When I'm faced with a trigger, I just think, that's a trigger. You know, I don't even think, that's a trigger. I just think, that's a woman, you know, in a bikini. It's not it's nothing that really applies to my life. I haven't been to the gym for a while because my dad has been ill, and really that shouldn't be an excuse, but I kind of used it as an excuse. And in this period I have fapped a few times. I was in a cycle I was doing every other day. My dad was ill. I didn't want to go outside and do anything until really I learned to just be still, and it's basically just getting my negative feelings with my therapist out of my head, out of the past, and into the present. And once I got it into the present, I just carried this feeling. It's just been so good. I mean, it's been such a great therapist, because I'm so grateful that I've went to have therapy, because I've just been so present. I mean, taking videos of flowers, just stopping and noticing all these details and patterns, because I updated some of the thumbnails for some of my videos, older videos, and I took a photo of some berries, and there was like these sort of, snowflake shapes, like jade snowflakes, and it was just so beautiful, and usually I just overlook something so banal, I just walk past it and not think anything of it. I'll be off in my own mind and thinking this and that, and this person hates me, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and like there's no sort of rush, I'm not feeling as though I'm controlled by anyone else or any of the circumstances that I can't control. I just feel still. And I don't attribute it to meditating consistently, because I've only done it for like 11 days. And even then, I've missed days. I've been just breathing, listening to the music. I'm going off of my, the Medito app, which I very much appreciate and I'm grateful for. And I had a rant to a guy who was speaking to online, and I told him yesterday, and I couldn't really follow this conversation up, because sometimes you just don't have the words in your head, and I suppose that's just normal. But I just sent him a message randomly out of the blue. Hello. Out of the blue, I just sent her a message, and I said that I was grateful. I'm grateful that I spoke to you and that you listened to me when I was feeling down about being awkward, being shy and introverted and whatnot. I just told him how much it meant to me, and it's like sharing the gratitude, so the gratitude goes outward, and I appreciate that, and it does build my empathy up quite a bit. Been listening to other people more, and I've listened to my grandma more, and my family aren't really bad people once you get to them. I mean, no one is. Most people are alright. It's just the sort of outlook that you have on them, and when I've really been listening and present, I do appreciate them. I do feel grateful for them even more, and I feel grateful for the conversations that I had with them, that we had this conversation about how there's sort of no pavement in the area that I live for us to walk on, and there's kind of like a cut off point where I live. I can walk a few miles out of my village, I can walk like 3 or 4 miles, and then there's just nothing, and there should be more pavements, and it's got me interested, you know. It's piqued my interest in transport, you know, and infrastructure, and how cities are sort of built. And the cool thing is that I'm now going to read up about it. I'm going to read up about it, and I'm going to get books. I'm taking courses. I'm going to go to the library, book an appointment, because you have to book to use the system, and I'm going to research about it, the library, read up on it, get obsessed by it, and yeah, it's going to be quite cool, you know. Maybe 10, 20, 30 years time I can actually influence it, because I studied politics in college. I'm thinking, well, why can't I just take a year off, make a bit of money, you know, as a copywriter, and then maybe go back, take a political science degree, and then just look into it, you know. Whether I work for the government or not. So really, I think I'm developing a sense of purpose, and I feel positive and optimistic in my hobbies. That I found a community online to speak to about Spanish, and most of them know more Spanish than me. So I have a chance to basically improve and learn from them to become better than I am now. You know, once 1% better every day, and I'm taking this upgrade now. And I feel grateful for my Korean as well. That I'm learning Korean, I'm learning Hangul, which is basically the Korean system of handwriting. I feel grateful that I'm learning about that. I feel grateful for my videos. And everything else I'm uncertain about, but I trust myself that I will learn and find a place for everything, you know. Yeah. This is the official ending of this video. As I've said, oh yeah, a few times.